Today we're going to be making red poppies, which represent the poppies that grew on the fields of the World War I battlefields, where many soldiers passed away. And so we're going to be celebrating Veterans Day very soon. So we're going to make some poppies, and I'm going to give you some acrylic paint. And once you have that acrylic paint, you're going to add a little bit of water to it. And we're going to use a straw, like this, to blow the paint around. So in each one of these cups, I'm going to put a little bit of paint, and then I'm going to put a little bit of water. Okay. So I don't want to add too much water, but enough so that the paint will be liquid enough to be moved by the air when I blow through the straw. So it's going to be really important, if this happens to be a mask wearing week, that you stay at least 3 feet apart from anybody else that's taking off their mask to use the straw. So I want it to be liquidy enough that it'll move on the paper. So I'm just stirring it. I'm going to scrape it on the edge. Now this is acrylic paint, so it will dry like plastic in the brush. So make sure that you wipe it off and then clean it in the water right away, or at least set it in a cup of water so it doesn't dry out. And if you're going between colors, you want to clean your brush, but you don't want your water to get dirty too quick, or it'll change the colors when you're adding water to it. Like this just got a little bit pink, but not too much. Okay, I'm going to dry that off. Clean into my cup. And you can see my water's getting dirty pretty quickly. You might need to change your water. Make it a little more liquidy. You also want to be careful, because it does dry like a plastic, that you wear an apron so you don't get it on your clothing, because if it dries on your clothes, it's not going to come out. If you get it on your clothing, you need to try and get it out right away while it's still wet. Okay. So now I'm going to always wet your brush before you start. I'm going to take a little bit of red and make a puddle on my paper. And you can make several flowers. You don't have to do just one. But for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to do one right now. And I'm going to put a little bit of white in the middle of that big red blob. And then I'm going to put a tiny bit of black. I'm using a really small brush, my smallest brush for the black. I'll put that dot in the middle. I can get it to drop in there. Doesn't want to go. There it is. I'll try the straw. That really doesn't want to go down in there, does it? Okay, I'm going to try something else. Let's try using a dropper. There we go. That worked. Okay, so then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to use your straw, and please don't trade straws, and you're going to blow the paint. Change the angle. You can always turn the paper if you want to. So I'm going to turn the page. So I'm blowing the red first, and then I'm going to blow the center. And you decide when you think it's done. Okay, so now that I have it, be careful about lifting it up. You don't want it to run. The paint will run before it's dry, so let it set flat. And when you have as many poppies on here as you want, you're going to decide where the stem is coming from, and just use a little bit of your black paint and make a stem. So we can do another one, or you can get started right away depending on what it is. You know, if you think you know what you're doing now, go ahead and start. I'm going to do one more in case you were busy and didn't get to see the first one. So I'm just putting quite a bit of the red on there. Now this is a different way of doing it. You could blow on the red before you put your white and black in. Okay, I'm going to turn it. You have to blow pretty hard. Okay, so now I'm going to take my white and I'm just going to stir it a little bit and drop some in there. That's a lot. And then we'll do the same thing with the dropper. I like that idea. I think I have enough droppers for everyone. And we'll put one drop of black. You don't want the black to overwhelm it, so don't put too much. Okay. So I feel like this one might need a little more red. So I'm just gonna put a little bit more red down here. And you can make your flowers really big. They don't have to be tiny. I don't have a lot of paint left. Just gonna dab it in. And then use the straw again. And I think I'm gonna try and blow the white towards the center. See if that works. And I I feel like it needs another black dot. Oh, that's got a bubble. It's still not dark enough. So you can see, take your time with it, and, you know, if you make a lot of mistakes, if you have a little difficulty with it, you can get a new piece of paper. If you get a bubble like that, just pop it. Okay, so now I'm going to put my stem on this one. And these are going to get hung up on the wall when the veterans come for their breakfast. And it's kind of like showing them a thank you for their service. Upload a picture of it to Google Classroom or Canvas and have fun.